Hi, my name is Elvis Boniface. So last week was the 12th edition of the World Innovation Summit for Education WISE Summit in Doha, Qatar, on the theme Human Values at the Heart of Education. Interestingly, this year, we had so many Nigerians, including our First Lady, could join the plenary session with the First Lady of Syria and, of course, Her Highness. We had the Minister of Education and other education leaders. And we asked the Minister of Education for a one-on-one. He accepted. And then we went back to the community because we're people media. If you have one question to ask the Minister of Education, what will it be? And then the questions started coming out in tons, about 80. But one interesting question everybody asked, the speed of the policy that comes out from the Ministry of Education, and of course the minister has an answer.
So, and I can't wake up and make decisions based on the way I slept last night or my emotion when I woke up today. It's about data. This government is using data and education at the center of it. Every decision we make, it's all based on data. The way we do things in the Ministry of Education now, we're moving at speed of light. We don't have the time. We're going to 4 clear areas of our relationship. We're going to quality assurance, train the trainer.
Well, no long story, the start of the interview. You've been doing a lot of travel for some days. Singapore, you were here. What has been the mission of all this trip?
Singapore in the last several days, and I'm here in Doha for the World Innovation Summit for Education. And I don't like traveling, but when I travel, it has to be for targeted reasons to empower, to maximize capacity of our system. My visit to Singapore was mostly about TVET, Technical Vocational Education and Training, which it's one of our 6 high priority areas. As you know, when we came in to the education sector to fulfill President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's mandate of aggressively transforming our education system, we came in with a Nigeria Education Sector Renewal Initiative called NESWE, with 6 broad, focused, targeted, and that we know will be extremely impactful across our entire education system. Number 1, TVET, Technical and Vocational Educational Training. Our expansive agenda for STEM with 2M, Science, Technology, Engineering, Mathematics, and Medical Sciences. And number 3, our expansive agenda for girl-child education. Number 4, reducing the high burden of our Nigerian and out-of-school children. Number 5, data and digitalization. And number 6, quality assurance of the quality of education we give our children and the quality of teachers training them. And I'm happy to report to you today, in the past 12 months to 16 months plus, we're meeting. We've done so much in all these 6 high priority areas. And your question is about TVET, why I went to Singapore. With TVET, we said we would train Nigerians in practical skills, hands-on skills, so that at the end of getting their technical and vocational education, they really train. As I said, we're using the Pareto rule, 80% practical and 20% didactics in what we do when it comes to TVET. We've rolled it out. We opened the portal. Within 10 days, we had 1.3 million Nigerians applied, and we had to close the portal quickly. By the time we verified 960,000 young Nigerians that are interested in technical and vocational education. Now, it's history. We're making history. At step 1, it's phenomenally successful. We've been successful in changing the narrative about TVET. Now our youths want to get technical and vocational education. The first cohort of 250,000 have started. As at the last count of yesterday, we have over 100,000 in over 1,600 skill training centers all across America, all across Nigeria, getting training in areas of garment and fashion making, livestock, solar photovoltaic installation and maintenance, GSM and computer repair, automobile mechanic, electrical fittings, construction work in area of tiling, cladding, and plumbing, and other areas. So now, kids are being trained. So why did I go to Singapore? See, as everybody will know, Singapore was built, they're a robust first world country. They have the best technical and vocational education. One of the best, probably Singapore and Germany. So we went and looked at their best standard because we want to give Nigerians, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu wants to give these youth, as he will say, as the President will say, the youths, they are the heartbeat of this country, of our nation. He wants to give them world-class education. So we now went, we didn't go before we started. It was very deliberate. I did not go there before we rolled out a TVET program. It was very deliberate. We wanted to start and now go at their best, see what best practices are. And I was so enthused and overwhelmed with joy to see that what we've rolled out was top class.
Top class.
Now, and we now said, okay, why can we now share experience with Singapore?
And compare notes.
And we came out with 4 clear areas. Areas now, we're going to finalize the MOU, and we're moving very quickly. You know, the way we do things in the Ministry of Education now, we're moving at speed of light. We don't have the time.
Awesome.
We're going to 4 clear areas of our relationship. We're going to quality assurance, train the trainer. They're going to help us also train our instructors, teachers in school, train the trainer. In area of infrastructure design, to see the kind of state-of-the-art equipment, workshop they're using. And also in area of skill, because I know matching this trainee to the job market. Because number one thing is step 1. I said there are 3 major steps there. Now, to reorientate the country, the citizens of the country, that TVET is as important as getting other tertiary education. That A+. Now, rolled out A+. Now, we now need, as these kids are well trained, we need to get them jobs. Good, durable, well-paying job. That's step 3. That's where we are now. But I know you want to go to the next question.
Because of time.
Let me stop.
Thanks a lot, Honorable Minister. I'm overjoyed as an educator and media that you know all that you want to do, well articulated, without any debrief. Why we are gathered here in Doha is for learning reimagining humanity in the age of AI. And so we are thinking of how to reform learning. But one of the feedback from this conference has been that we are still struggling with 2 key things that some other countries have gone out of. Number 1 is out of school. The numbers keep increasing. And the other thing is safety for our children. I wanted to know what your ministry is doing to fix these issues.
Now, I'll tell you, this conference has been so good. WISE conference, World Innovation Summit for Education, and you see the theme of the conference, humanity at the heart of education. Everything begins and starts with education. We're talking about innovation, we're talking about AI. But let me not delve into all the various thematic areas of WISE. You ask specific questions, what we're doing about our Nigerian out-of-school children. That's the reason why I'm here.
Awesome.
I can't thank our First Lady, the matriarch of our nation, Senator, Our Excellency, Senator Oluremi Tinubu. I can't thank her enough. She was the one that curated our relationship with Qatar, and I'll tell you, I've had very, very good meetings. I'm a happy man today. First Lady and Her Highness Sheikh Moza met about 2 months ago. Our First Lady came predominantly, how can Qatar, how can we collaborate? How can they help us with the high burden of our Nigerian and out-of-school children? That first meeting went so well. And Her Majesty, Sheikh Moza, invited our First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, for this WISE conference.
By the way, Edugist reported it.
Yes.
All that she said.
Good. And you saw our plenary session today.
Yes.
Amazing. It was blowout. Very cool. We are so lucky to have a First Lady like that. Now, the First Lady opened the door for me. As the Minister of Education, he said, I've opened the door. You now go do the technical thing. What I want result is that how do we collaborate with government of Qatar? I've had so many meetings there. Met with the Minister of Education, Her Excellency, Honorable Mr. Laula, amazing woman being. They open to help us, support us in a respectful manner. Careful, respectful manner, and collaborative manner. Amazing meeting. I just had a meeting with the CEO, Ms. Mohammed Saad of Education Above All. That's the biggest foundation that works, Qatar government, that works with education. They've done some tiny things in Nigeria with independent people. Now we've finalized clear impact on what we're going to do with our Nigerian out of school children. We're going to be submitting a comprehensive proposal to them, and we're going to move very quickly. And an amazing meeting again that I had with the DG of Qatar Fund for Development, QFFD, Mr. Fad, amazing man. We now have clear way on how they're going to support us in a mapping, biometric-driven mapping that we've also started of our out-of-school children. We've finalized, we've discussed full framework of how we're going to get World Bank into it, but they will fund us to do this full mapping. And the reason of getting World Bank is that so that we can build the credibility from the beginning. So once we've done the mapping, World Bank believes the result, we've done it together, it becomes standard. So we now, for once, know the number of our out-of-school children, not estimated data that is flowing around by international organizations. One would say you have 10 million out-of-school children, we have 15 million out-of-school, some would say 20 million. But guess what? We need to take, this is a sovereign duty to do this. And I was happy to talk to, when the DG of Qatar Fund for Development was talking about mapping, that is why I said, I was just smiling. I said, we've done so much. I said, we've already started this mapping. It was blown away that this is what they've been wanting to do. Guess what? Within the 26 months of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Nigeria has gone through massive transformation. And transformation that's been done in a sustainable manner, not based on superficialities. At the end of it all, we're using government system, government process to build this thing for sustainability.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Just not to waste your time, we hope that back in Nigeria, you'll give us time for an expanded time to talk. But I wanted to close. There is learning poverty in Nigeria, but when the Nigerian child hear the message from the Honorable Minister, the message of hope, the message of amplified learning, the message of safety for parents, the message of well-accelerated path to school fees, tuition, and all that. If you are talking to that one Nigerian child, which is the purpose of this conversation, what would be that message?
The message is that today, every Nigerian child, you have a president in the person of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that has your back. The president eats, sleep, work for you. We have a president today that's making decisions based on your future and the future of your grandchildren. And when you have a president that is making decisions based on your future and the future of your grandchildren, you can be 100% rest assured that those are the right decisions. President is not making decisions based on his age group or my age group for what is going to benefit. No. And as we do that, and President has directed us and mandated us that every single Nigerian child should get the highest quality of education. And that's what we're doing. You can see how much we've done. We know we have this bad data of learning poverty. 45 million Nigerians today have learning poverty. So we focus, like you say, it's the product. With what you get, your product is what you put in. Garbage in, garbage out.
Garbage out.
If you put high quality in, get the highest quality out.
Output.
And that's why we're focusing on our teachers. We're doing so many things. Teacher professional development is huge on what we've done. And I'll tell you something about curriculum. Just give me 1 minute. We're focusing heavily on teacher professional development. We're moving teacher professional, we're moving the content, we've digitized all the content. Moving it online now for our teachers everywhere in the country, both public and private teachers. They can have access to those teacher professional development content. For our public schools, we're going to incentivize these teachers to go do their continued education. They'll go, do the studying, do short quizzes, and when they pass, we will incentivize them, pay them for taking their professional development. And we also know that they need data. We've engaged GSM, a big GSM company, MTN and other one, on zero data. We've also worked on our own government-funded internet, it's called IXP, Internet Exchange Point, where all this data become free. They go, free data, they do that. So we're focusing heavily on teacher professional development, quality assuring our teachers, and as well guiding them. We're also working on improved welfare. And also, we know we have shortage of teachers. Can we hire enough teachers? Can we hire ourselves out of it now in the next quarter? No. So what we've done, we've deployed live online classes. We have it for GSS 1 to GSS 3, now and SS1 and SS2, but I've directed a team to finalize the setting of online classes from primary 1 to primary 6, GSS 1 to GSS 3, and SS1 to SS3. So today, if you're in the rural part of the country, in the north or in the south, Carolina, Moda, Zulu, you can look at a calendar online. If you don't have chemistry teacher, if you don't have maths teacher or English teacher, you can know when that best teacher will come live. You arrange your timetable to that, and you get that lesson, and it's interactive. And those lessons are also going to be saved. Students can go back, parents can go back, and go over it for more additional training. So the online platform, live online platform, online school platform is being deployed. We just released the press statement 2 days ago, and in areas of curriculum development, we've streamlined our curriculum. We've made it competent-based and outcome-based about our curriculum. We've also reduced the volume of subjects that primary schools kids are doing, junior secondary schools are doing. So before we came in as a government, average primary 6 or primary 5 student is taking about 14, 15 different subjects. GSS 18 subjects. There's no need for that. So we've streamlined it. So the burden of the curriculum, the voluminous, with irrelevant part of the curriculum has been taken out. So our curriculum are now competence-based and outcome-based. So we're doing all these things to streamline the quality of education we're giving our children. And we're also quality assuring those kind of education. What we've done, we've also done a lot of reform with our Teacher Registration Council, the agency that licenses teachers. Also our National Teachers Institute, we reorientated them back on their clear focus, which is to retrain and train new teachers. We're focusing on pre-service and in-service teachers at the same time. So every training and our own strategy, which is the standardized strategy, you get the best teachers to train your students, and choose teachers. What do you get? You get the best outcome. And we're not doing that. We're mindful of what's happening. AI is come to stay. We can't be left behind. We now have for the first time a whole department in our Universal Basic Education Commission, and we've had as UBEC, and we've had that we cascaded down to the SUBEB AI in education. We've got an expert at the directorate level leading that AI in education. So we're infusing AI now into education, and also we're using a lot of digital technology. If you've seen, we've launched smart board in our schools now. We're moving away from chalkboard to smart board, where you have this, the curriculum is there, the lessons are there, the textbooks are there, the teacher can teach, students can reference a lot of things. These are real things. These are not now what we're talking about. These are things that we've operationalized. Our goal is that every single classroom in Nigeria in the next 1 or 2 years will have a smart board. And we also know that we have issues of electricity. What have we done? We're backing it, we've designed, we've gone back to our manufacturers. This smart board should have solar backup so that we don't have problem with electricity, not getting them to work. I told you about what we're doing with our ISP internet exchange point. Yeah. This smart board will be online and offline. So we're connecting all the dots. We're not leaving anything to whims and caprices of any other person. Now we've taken our destiny when it comes to education in our hands.
In our hands. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for talking to us. In 30 seconds, we're People Media at Edugist. Of all the questions, so can you just clarify what the ministry declare about maths and English? There seems to be a disinformation. Can we hear from the horse's mouth?
Honestly, there's no disinformation. When we release these policies, now we're using data-driven governance. All the things we do is about data. There's no emotion. You can't put sentiment. Education is a bedrock of any society. This is what makes any society.
True.
So, and I can't wake up and make decisions based on the way I slept last night or my emotion when I woke up today. It's about data. This government is using data and education at the center of it. Every decision we make, it's all based on data. Now, talk about requirement for English and maths. We say, for you to get to university, you need 5 credits, and 5 credits must include English and maths. We looked at what JAM is doing, what WAEC is doing, what NECO is doing. In the last 3-4 years, about 2.1 to 2.2 million Nigerians will do JAM, right? About 1.9 million Nigerians will do WAEC yearly over the last 2-3 years. About 1.87 million Nigerians will do NECO. Every year, let me just go last year, 2 years ago, of the 2.1 million people that did JAM, 700,000, just 33% of those were admitted to our school. Now we have access. Access is not an issue. We have university, polytechnics, colleges of education that have access that could take many more students. Only 7,000 people were admitted.
1.3 left.
So now JAM. When you now go to WAEC, I'll use WAEC for example. I'll just use last year WAEC, 2024 WAEC. Of the 1.9 million, about 600,000 got 5 credits that included English and maths. Only about 650 something thousand. But you had almost 1.2 million people that got 5 credits with or without English and maths. Are you understanding it?
Yes, sir.
So you've opened about 500,000 more people there. So they can't get to university because they're limited with their O levels. And then we now said, if we can open capacity opportunities for 500,000 to 7,000 more Nigerians to go to universities, polytechnic, and college of education by removing the unneeded barrier, this stringency about O-level credit. So we said, if you were going to do law, why do you need mathematics? You're going to do law. You go to university to do mass communication, political science. Why do you need credit in mathematics? And that's what we saw. A lot of people got credit in English and they want to do law, they want to do arts and social sciences. They don't have mathematics. You do
disqualified.
It disqualified it. So you just asked me about problems of out of school children in kids. So what we're doing now, we're now creating out of school adolescents. You kill the country. And this president said, it's a campaign to Nigeria. I will fix this country. And that's what the president is fixing everywhere. I'm saying, no. If you have to do engineering, you want to do electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, Why do you need credit in English? So we looked at it. We start with JAM, we start with WAEC, we start with NECO. But we looked at, they are the people that conduct the psychometric analysis. We looked at everything. No. And they said, Honorable Sir, you're a messiah. And I'm just doing my job. This is what directive mandate that President gave me and the Minister of State. It's not that we've been clamoring for this for years. Nobody will listen. So now, with that decision, guess what? For the first time, we're able to now open up another opportunity for 500 to 7,000 students. Now, probably about 1.2 million people will go to a tertiary institution this year.
Honorable
People
Minister,
need to see, this is data. We're talking about data here. And this is about the singular interest of a youth.
on a personal note, what do you want to be remembered for at the end of it all as Minister of Education?
To ensure that our education is durable, every single Nigerian gets the highest quality of education. And we're seeing everywhere, and skills. We've passed our first step. We've brought Tibet back. Our kids are now interested in Tibet. Admission went boom for technical colleges within first year. Next year, we're expecting boom. Technical education of federal technical schools and one state technical college per state, 100% free. Where government is paying, federal government is paying everything. The only thing the student needs to take to school is their pajamas, underwear, and even their uniform we're paying.